everyone. Today we wanted to talk about a very important development in citizenship laws in Canada. For those of you who have Canadian ancestry in Canada, this is super important for you to know. Alright, so Adil, tell us, what is currently happening with the citizenship laws in Canada?
This is a big change. Basically, under the old laws, citizenship grants were limited just to the first generation.
What is first generation?
Okay, so first generation born overseas, what that basically means is if you're a Canadian citizen, either you were naturalized or you were born in Canada, and you had a child born overseas, that would be considered the first generation. And that child would be granted Canadian citizenship.
Okay.
However, if that child then had their child overseas, then that second generation child would not get Canadian citizenship.
Right, so if you were the grandchild of someone who was born in Canada or were naturalized in Canada and your parents had not been born in Canada, then even though your parents may have been citizens, you would not have been recognized as a citizen.
If you were not born.
Okay, all right.
Okay? So then what happened is in December 2023, the Ontario Superior Court of Justice, with the Jorkowitz decision, decided this was unconstitutional. And they told the government to come up with a law that was constitutional. And basically, they gave them a timeline to do this in. And every 6 months almost, the government kept going back and the court kept asking them, have you come up with a law? And they had not. And so this March, when they went in, right before doing that, knowing that the court would be quite upset about this, they created a new process for all second, third, fourth generation individuals to apply for citizenship through a ministerial grant, so through Section 5.4 of the Citizenship Act.
So who does this then apply to? It applies to anyone who might have Canadian ancestry?
Exactly.
Even like your great-grandparent?
Exactly. If you can prove it, so you have to be able to prove that that one generation was born in Canada, and then use birth certificates to prove that everybody else was their child afterwards. Mm-hmm. And that's where it becomes quite difficult. But if you can, then right now, the way that the interim measure is worded, it allows for that. So it's really important at this time to go find out if you do have Canadian ancestry, because you might be able to apply for citizenship.
Are there any other requirements? Like, do your parents have to have substantial ties to Canada or any other kinds of things? That's
the great part of this, is that there isn't a residency requirement at this point. When the government was talking about the law, there was a lot of talk about how to put in residency requirements. Mm-hmm. So for people going backwards, there isn't. But if you were born after 2023, then they have put in a residency requirement, and going forward, there will likely be a residency requirement.
Okay, so what's your advice to those people who might have Canadian ancestry right now?
Very simply, apply now. So first, try to get birth certificates and documentation proving your ancestry, and don't wait, because the government does have to come up with a law. We're not sure what's going to be in it. This interim measure is very allowable. And so if you are able to apply, don't wait.
Okay, guys, if you have any Canadian ancestry, you might be Canadian. You might be able to get your Canadian citizenship. So please don't wait. Let us know if you would like us to help you out. Take care, guys.